Namaste. Welcome to Samskriti. We are in the 11th Sarga of Yuddha Kandam in the Adhyatma Ramayanam series. Having consoled the chief queen Mandodari with affectionate words, Ravana started off to the battlefield to fight with Sri Rama. He mounted a sturdy and strong chariot surrounded by most ferocious and fierce demons. The chariot, with 16 wheels, was drawn by horrorful donkeys. It was heavily armor plated and had a strong central pole for yoking. It was equipped with all kinds of weapons and missiles and every kind of equipment needed for battle. Seeing the fierce and relentless warrior Ravana approaching, the monkey forces under Rama were stricken with fear. Hanuman, of matchless prowess, now sprang up to give battle to Ravana. He clenched his fist firmly and delivered a punch on Ravana's chest. Stricken that way, Ravana fell down on his knees in a swoon. Within a few minutes, he recovered and told, "O Hanuman, I accept that you are heroic and deserve recognition." Hanuman replied, "O Ravana, it is a matter of shame for me that you are still alive after receiving my blow. Now you strike me, and after that I shall give you a blow which will deprive you of your life." Then Ravana accepted the challenge and struck Hanuman on his chest with his fist. Hanuman became dizzy and was unconscious for a short while. After recovering, the great monkey prepared to counterattack Ravana, but by then the king of demons had escaped to another part of the battlefield, frightened by the prospect of Hanuman's blow. In the battle, Hanuman, Angada, Nala, and Neela destroyed the Rakshasas named Agnivarna, Sarparoma, Khadgaroma, and Vrishchikaroma respectively. Then the four monkeys individually raised lion roars as a sign of victory and went to meet Rama. Terribly incensed by the death of his followers, the cruel-hearted Ravana, biting his lips and rolling his eyeballs, rushed at Rama to join battle with him. Seated in his chariot, the 10-headed Ravana showered very sharp arrows on Rama as a cloud showers rain. He also wounded all the monkeys standing in front of Rama. Then Sri Rama became alert and began showering arrows which were as radiant as the color of gold and were glowing like fire. Seeing that Ravana was seated in his chariot and Rama was standing on the ground, Indra, the king of Devas, called his charioteer Matali and said, "O sinless one, take my chariot to Rama, the chief of Raghus, who is fighting standing on the ground. Go to earth immediately and do this work for me." On being so instructed, Matali, the charioteer of Indra, saluted him and harnessed green-colored horses to the excellent chariot and came down from the heavens with incredible speed for the purpose of Rama's victory. He presented himself before Sri Rama and told him with folded hands, "O the most exalted of the Raghus, I have been sent here by Indra, the king of gods. This chariot belongs to Lord Indra and he has sent it for your victory. It is equipped with the well-decorated bow of Indra, the impregnable armor, a sword, and 2 divine quivers. O Rama, mount this chariot and slay the demon Ravana, even as Lord Indra had killed Vritrasura with me as his charioteer." On being so requested, Rama, after circumambulating that divine chariot, ascended it in order to bring about welfare and prosperity in the world. Afterwards, there took place a hair-raising and fierce battle between Sri Rama and Ravana. Raghava, who was adept in the use of weapons, neutralized Ravana's Agneyastra with another matching fire missile and Devastra with another similar celestial missile. Then Ravana became very furious and shot the most formidable Rakshasastra at Sri Rama. The shining arrows shot from the bow of Ravana took the form of numerous poisonous serpents and fell all around Rama, surrounding him. All the quarters were filled with weapons and arrows shot by Ravana, which had flames of fire leaping up and spouting forward from their tips, which resembled the mouth of dragons. Seeing serpents everywhere, Rama now released the most potent and formidable weapon called Sauparnastra, also known as Garudastra. Those arrows, launched by Rama, took the shape of Garuda and destroyed the serpents on all sides. When Rama thus counteracted his missiles, the 10-headed Ravana once again began to shower arrows on Rama. He caused immense consternation to Rama by peppering him with sharp arrows. Besides wounding his charioteer Matali, he also cut down the golden standard of Rama's chariot, causing it to fall on the rear side, and also inflicted wounds on the horses drawing the chariot of Indra. Seeing Rama in a difficult situation, Devas, Gandharvas, Charanas, Pitras, and Maharishis grew anxious. All the commanders and chiefs of the monkey army, as well as Vibhishana, became very worried and confounded. At that time, Ravana, with his 10 heads and 20 arms, holding bows and arrows, looked formidable and colossus like the Mainaka mountain. Rama's eyes now became red with anger, and his brows got knitted. He now looked at Ravana as if he was going to burn him up in a mood of anger. Holding the remarkable and magnificent bow that was similar to the one belonging to Indra, Rama released fiery arrows at his enemy with fierce eyes as if to reduce him to ashes by his looks. Rama, now realizing that the time for the destruction of Ravana was approaching, revealed his prowess to all through his shining brilliance. Drawing his bow and aiming at Ravana, Rama appeared like Kala himself, that is, death at the time of world's dissolution, a sight which gave great joy to the monkey army. Looking at the fearsome, angry face of Rama as he attacked the enemy, all the beings trembled in fear, and there were tremors on the earth. Rama's ferocious and uncompromising countenance and the evil foreboding omens filled all the beings with fear, while terror and awe took firm roots even in the heart of Ravana. In order to see the battle that resembled the scenario of doomsday in its ferocity, all the Devas, Siddhas, Gandharvas and Kinnaras assembled in the sky in their aerial vehicles. Now, Rama took up the Indra missile and chopped off Ravana's heads one by one. Bleeding profusely, these heads fell down on the ground like fruits of the palm tree fall from it. In the chaos created, neither daytime nor night, neither their junction time nor the quarters could be perceived distinctly, so much so that even Ravana's form was not discernible properly. This greatly amazed and perplexed Sri Rama. He thought to himself in wonder, I have cut down 101 heads of Ravana. Still I do not find him mellowing due to loss of life. Then Kausalya Nandana, Sri Rama, who was a master of all missiles and was also armed to the teeth with all types of arms and armaments, thought, all the arrows which I had previously used to slay mighty Rakshasas are now found ineffective against Ravana. When Rama was thus thinking, Vibhishana, who was standing nearby, said to him, O Raghava, Lord Brahma had given Ravana a boon that all his heads and arms, if severed, will grow back anew immediately. Lord, also a certain amount of Amrita, that is the elixir of life, is kept securely in a circular patch in the navel area of Ravana. Burn it up with the Agni weapon. That is the only way to bring about his death. Hearing these words of Vibhishana, the valorous Rama swiftly mounted the fire weapon and shot it at the umbilicus of Ravana. After that, the mighty Rama, full of anger, severed the demon's heads and arms. At this, betrayed by Vibhishana, the 10-headed Ravana aimed a very fierce weapon called Mahashakti with a view to kill him, but Raghava immediately intercepted it and cut it down to pieces with sharp, shining arrows. As several of his heads had been cut, Ravana's prowess was in abeyance, and seeing his fallen heads, he became very much dejected. Presently, he was left with only one central head and 2 arms. Still, he did not relent, but became extremely incensed and continued to rain numerous varieties of arrows and other weapons on Sri Rama. As a result, once again, a thrilling and hair-raising fierce battle erupted between them. At that point, Matali, the charioteer, reminded Rama, saying, O Raghava, release the Brahmastra without any delay for the death of Ravana, because the time that is predetermined by the gods has now arrived. O Rama, do not cut off his head. He cannot be killed by severing his head, but his end can only be brought about by piercing his vital organ, that is his heart. These words of Matali reminded Sri Rama of the secret behind Ravana's invincibility as suggested to him by Vibhishana. Rama then took out a majestic and radiantly glowing arrow that resembled a fiercely hissing serpent in its course. That Brahma missile had Vayu at its rear, Surya and Pavaka in its front, and the Lokapalas on its sides. Its vastness could be compared to the sky, and it was as heavy as the Meru and Mandara mountains. Resplendent in itself, it shone like the sun. Now, the mighty Rama repeated the mantras connected with this wonderful missile and attached it to his bow according to the directions given in the science of archery. When Rama did that, all the beings were very terrified while the earth shook and trembled. In a very angry mood, Rama pulled his bow to its maximum with all his power and shot that arrow at the vital part of Ravana. That arrow, which was most mighty and severe like the Vajra released by Indra, struck Ravana on his chest like the god of death himself. That unrelenting and fatal arrow, capable of piercing any target, went deep into the chest of Ravana and pierced his heart, destroying the life energies of Ravana and then drilled itself into the earth. In this way, having slayed Ravana, the arrow then came back to the quiver of Rama. As soon as the arrow had hit him, Ravana's huge bow fell down from his hand along with his arrow. Lifeless, the great king of demons fell to the ground like an object caught in a whirlwind. On seeing him dead, all the surviving Rakshasas felt masterless and became panicky with fear and fled in all directions. Now that the enemy had been conquered, the monkeys were ecstatic with joy and began to talk loudly among themselves about Ravana's death and Rama's glorious victory. The sky was now filled with the delightful sound of the kettle drums of the Devas, and flowers were showered on Sri Rama from all directions, while the Munis, Siddhas, Charanas, and other gods sang hymns of praise. The celestial Apsaras began dancing in jubilation. Just at that time, a shaft of dazzling effulgence of light, which was equal to the sun in brilliance, emerged from the body of Ravana and entered the body of Sri Rama, even as the Devas watched in awe and wonder. Seeing this, the Devas said, "The great soul Ravana is indeed very fortunate and privileged. We, the Devas, have primarily good virtues and characteristics and are special objects of Mahavishnu's mercy. But still, we are immersed in samsara characterized by fear and sorrow. But see how this Rakshasa, who was noted for his cruelty, who abducted other people's women, who killed ascetics, who was antagonistic to Vishnu and was characterized by intense tamas, see how even he has merged and become one with Sri Rama, while all the creatures watched in awe." When they were wondering thus, Narada said with a smile, "O Devas, listen. All of you are well versed in the essential wisdom of Dharma. Since Ravana was opposed to Sri Rama, he constantly thought of Rama day and night, albeit with enmity and malice, along with his subordinates and servants. Hearing that he was destined to die at the hands of Sri Rama, he was so mentally terrified that he was constantly seeing Raghava everywhere. Every night in his dreams he was seeing Sri Rama. This anger of Ravana towards Rama became his boon and was more fruitful and useful to him than the teachings and preachings of a guru. In the end, being killed by Sri Rama, he has been rid of all his sins. Released from all bondage thereby, he has become one with Rama. Even if a person is sinful, evil-minded, addicted to others' wealth and women, if he, be it out of love or fear, thinks of Rama, he becomes purified in mind and freed from the sins of numerous births. He thereby attains directly the eternal Vaikuntha, the highly coveted status of Vishnu, who has incarnated himself as Rama. May that heroic Rama protect me. Rama, who killed the 10-headed Ravana, who was tormenting the 3 worlds in battle. That Rama, who with his left hand holds his bow resting firmly on the ground, who is whirling an arrow with his other hand, the ends of whose eyes are red tinged, whose handsome body is adorned by the glory of victory, who has the brilliance of numerous suns, who is lauded and duly respected by Indra, the king of gods. O, the most majestic Sri Rama, protect me." This sarga ends on this note. Let us move on with the chanting now. अध्यात्म रामायणे युद्धकाण्डे 11 सर्गः। श्रीमहादेव उवाच इत्युक्त्वा वचनं प्रेम्णा राज्ञीं मन्दोदरीं तदा रावणः प्रययौ योद्धुं रामेण सह संयुगे दृढं स्यन्दनमास्थाय वृतो घोरैर्निशाचरैः चक्रैः 16 सवरूथं सकूबरं पिशाचवदनैर्घोरैः खरैर्युक्तं भयावहं सर्वास्त्रशस्त्रसहितं सर्वोपस्करसंयुतं निश्चक्रामाथ सहसा रावणो भीषणाकृतिः आयान्तं रावणं दृष्ट्वा भीषणं रणकर्कशं सन्त्रस्ताद्भूत्तदा सेना वानरी रामपालिता हनुमानथ चोत्प्लुत्य रावणं योद्धुमाययौ आगत्य हनुमान् रक्षो वक्षस्य तुलविक्रमः मुष्टिबन्धं दृढं बद्ध्वा ताडयामास वेगतः तेन मुष्टिप्रहारेण जानुभ्यामपतद्रथे मूर्छितोत मुहूर्तेन रावणः पुनरुत्थितः उवाच च हनुमन्तं शूरोऽसि मम सम्मतः हनुमानाहतं धिङ्मां यस्त्वं जीवसि रावण त्वं तावन्मुष्टिना वक्षो मम ताडय रावण पश्चान्मया हतः प्राणान् मोक्ष्यसे नात्र संशयः तथेति मुष्टिना वक्षो रावणेनापि ताडितः विघूर्णमाननयनः किञ्चित् कश्मलमाययौ संज्ञामवाप्य कपिराट् रावणं हन्तुमुद्यतः ततोऽन्यत्र गतो भीत्या रावणो राक्षसाधिपः हनुमानङ्गदश्चैव नलो नीलस्तथैव च 4 समवेत्याग्रे दृष्ट्वा राक्षसपुङ्गवान् अग्निवर्णं तथा सर्परोमाणं खड्गरोमकं तथा वृश्चिकरोमाणं निर्जग्नुः क्रमशोऽसुरान् 4 हत्वा राक्षसान् भीमविक्रमान् सिंहनादं पृथक् कृत्वा रामपार्श्वमुपागताः ततः क्रुद्धो दशग्रीवः सन्दश्य दशनच्छदं विवृत्य नयने क्रूरो राममेवान्वधावत दशग्रीवो रथस्थस्तु रामं वज्रोपमैश्वरैः आजघानमहाघोरैर्धाराभिरिवतो यदः रामस्य पुरतः सर्वान् वानरानपि विव्यधे ततः पावकसङ्काशैः शरैः काञ्चनभूषणैः अभ्यवर्षद्रणे रामो दशग्रीवं समाहितः रथस्थं रावणं दृष्ट्वा भूमिष्ठं रघुनन्दनम् आहूय मातलिं शक्रो वचनं चेदमब्रवीत् रथेन मम भूमिष्ठं शीघ्रं याहि रघूत्तमं त्वरितं भूतलं गत्वा कुरु कार्यं ममानघ एवमुक्तोऽथ तं नत्वा मातलिर्देवसारथिः ततो हयैश्च संयोज्य हरितैः स्यन्दनोत्तमं स्वर्गाज्जयार्थं रामस्य ह्युपचक्राम मातलिः प्राञ्जलिर्देवराजेन प्रेषितोऽस्मि रघूत्तम रथोऽयं देवराजस्य विजयाय तव प्रभो प्रेषितश्च महाराज धनुरैन्द्रं च भूषितम् अभेद्यं कवचं खड्गं दिव्यतूणीयुगं तथा आरुह्य च रथं राम रावणं जहि राक्षसं मया सारथिना देव वृत्रं देवपतिर्यथा इत्युक्तस्तं परिक्रम्य नमस्कृत्य रथोत्तमम् आरुरोह रथं रामो लोकान् लक्ष्म्या नियोजयन् ततो भवन्महायुद्धं भैरवं रोमहर्षणं महात्मनो राघवस्य रावणस्य च धीमतः आग्नेयेन चाग्नेयं दैवं दैवेन राघवः अस्त्रं राक्षसराजस्य जघान परमास्त्रवित् ततस्तु ससृजे घोरं राक्षसं चास्त्रमस्त्रवित् क्रोधेन महताविष्टो रामस्योपरि रावणः रावणस्य धनुर्मुक्ताः सर्पा भूत्वा महाविशाः शराः काञ्चनपुङ्खाभा राघवं परितोपतन् तैः शरैः सर्पवदनैः वमद्भिरनलं मुखैः दिशश्च विदिशश्चैव व्याप्तास्तत्र तदा भवन् रामः सर्पांस्ततो दृष्ट्वा समन्तात् परिपूरितान् सौपर्णमस्त्रं तद्घोरं पुरः प्रावर्तयद्रणे रामेण मुक्तास्ते बाणा भूत्वा गरुडरूपिणः छिच्छिदुः सर्पबाणांस्तान् समन्तात् सर्पशत्रवः अस्त्रे प्रतिहते युद्धे रामेण दशकन्धरः अभ्यवर्षत्ततो रामं घोराभिः शरवृष्टिभिः ततः पुनः शरानीकै राममक्लिष्टकारिणम् अर्दयित्वा तु घोरेण मातलिं प्रत्यविध्यत पातयित्वा रथोपस्थे रथकेतुं च काञ्चनम् ऐन्द्रानश्वानभ्यहन द्रावणः क्रोधमूर्छितः विषे दुर्देवगन्धर्वाश्चारणापितरस्तथा आर्ताकारं हरिं दृष्ट्वा व्यथिताश्च महर्षयः व्यथिता वानरेन्द्राश्च बभूवुः सविभीषिणाः दशास्यो विंशतिभुजः प्रगृहीतशरासनः ददृशे रावणस्तत्र मैनाक इव पर्वतः रामस्तु भ्रुकुटिं बद्ध्वा क्रोधसंरक्तलोचनः कोपं चकार सदृशं निर्दहन्निव राक्षसं धनुरादाय देवेन्द्र धनुराकारमद्भुतं गृहीत्वा पाणिना बाणं कालानलसमप्रभं निर्दहन्निव चक्षुर्भ्यां ददृशे रिपुमन्तिके पराक्रमं दर्शयितुं तेजसा प्रज्वलन्निव प्रचक्रमे कालरूपी सर्वलोकस्य पश्यतः विकृष्य चापं रामस्तु रावणं प्रतिविध्य च हर्षयन् वानरानीकं कालान्तक इव बभौ क्रुद्धं रामस्य वदनं दृष्ट्वा शत्रुं प्रधावतः तत्र सुः सर्वभूतानि चचाल च वसुन्धरा रामं दृष्ट्वा महारौद्रम् उत्पातांश्च सुदारुणान् त्रस्तानि सर्वभूतानि रावणं चाविशद्भयं विमानस्थासुरगणाः सिद्धगन्धर्वकिन्नराः ददृशुः सुमहायुद्धं लोकसंवर्तकोपमम् ऐन्द्रमस्त्रं समादाय रावणस्य शिरोच्छिनत् मूर्धानो रावणस्याथ बहवो रुधिरोक्षिताः गगनात् प्रपतन्ति स्म तालादिव फलानि न दिनं न च वैरात्रिः न सन्ध्यां न दिशोऽपि वा प्रकाशन्ते न तद्रूपं दृश्यते तत्र सङ्गरे ततो रामो बभूवाथ विस्मयाविष्टमानसः शतमेकोत्तरं छिन्नं शिरसां चैकवर्चसां न चैव रावणः शान्तो दृश्यते जीवितक्षयात् ततः सर्वास्त्रविद्धीरः कौसल्यानन्दवर्धनः अस्त्रैश्च बहुभिर्युक्तश्चिन्तयामास राघवः यैर्यैर्बाणैर्हता दैत्या महासत्त्वपराक्रमाः तयेते निष्फलं याता रावणस्य निपातने इति चिन्ताकुले रामे समीपस्थो विभीषणः उवाच राघवं वाक्यं ब्रह्मदत्तवरो ह्यसौ विच्छिन्ना बाहवोऽप्यस्य विच्छिन्नानि शिरांसि च उत्पत्स्यन्ति पुनः शीघ्रम् इत्याह भगवानजः नाभिदेशे मृतं तस्य कुण्डलाकारसंस्थितं तच्छोषयानलास्त्रेण तस्य मृत्युस्ततो भवेत् विभीषणवचः श्रुत्वा रामः शीघ्रपराक्रमः पावकास्त्रेण संयोज्य नाभिं विव्याधरक्षसः अनन्तरं च चिच्छेद शिरांसि च महाबलः बाहूनपि च संरब्धो रावणस्य रघूत्तमः ततो घोरां महाशक्तिमादाय दशकन्धरः विभीषणवधार्थाय चिक्षेप क्रोधविह्वलः चिच्छेद राघवो बाणैस्तांशितैर्हेमभूषितैः दशग्रीवशिरच्छेदात् तदा तेजो विनिर्गतम् म्लानरूपो बभूवाथ छिन्नैः शीर्षैर्भयङ्करैः एकेन मुख्यशिरसा बाहुभ्यां रावणो बभौ रावणस्तु पुनः क्रुद्धो नानाशस्त्रास्त्रवृष्टिभिः ववर्ष रामं तं रामस्तथा बाणैर्ववर्ष च ततो युद्धमभूघोरं तुमुलं लोमहर्षणम् अथ संस्मारयामास मातली राघवं तदा विसृजास्त्रं वधायास्य ब्राह्मं शीघ्रं रघूत्तम विनाशकालः प्रथितो यः सुरैः सोऽद्य वर्तते उत्तमाङ्गं न चैतस्य छेत्तव्यं राघवत्वया नैव शीर्ष्णि प्रभो वध्यो वध्य एव हि मर्मणि ततः संस्मारितो रामस्तेन वाक्येन मातलेः जग्राह सशरं दीप्तं निःश्वसन्तम् इवोरगम् यस्य पार्श्वे तु पवनः फले भास्करपावकौ शरीरमाकाशमयं गौरवे मेरुमन्दरौ पर्वस्वपि च विन्यस्ता लोकपालामहौजसः जाज्वल्यमानं वपुषा भातं भास्करवर्चसा तमुग्रमस्त्रं लोकानां भयनाशनमद्भुतम् अभिमन्त्र्य ततो रामस्तं महेशुं महाभुजः वेदप्रोक्तेन विधिना सन्दधे कार्मुके बली तस्मिन् सन्धीयमाने तु राघवेण शरोत्तमे सर्वभूतानि वित्रेसुश्चचाल च वसुन्धरा स रावणाय संक्रुद्धो भृशमानम्य चिक्षेप परमायत्तस्तमस्त्रं मर्मघातिनं स वज्रैव दुर्धर्षो वज्रपाणे विसर्जितः कृतान्त इव घोरास्यो न्यपतद्रावणोरसि स निमग्नो महाघोरः शरीरान्तकरः परः बिभेद हृदयं तूर्णं रावणस्य महात्मनः रावणस्याहरत्प्राणान् विवेश धरणीतले सशरो रावणं हत्वा रामतूणीरमाविशत् तस्य हस्तात् पपाताशु सशरं कार्मुकं महत् गतासुर्भ्रमिवेगेन राक्षसेन्द्रोपतद्भुवि तं दृष्ट्वा पतितं भूमौ हतशेषाश्च राक्षसाः हतनाथा भयत्रस्ता दुद्रुवुः सर्वतो दिशं दशग्रीवस्य निधनं विजयं राघवस्य च ततो विनेधुः संहृष्टा वानराजितकाशिनः वदन्तो रामविजयं रावणस्य च तद्वधम् अथान्तरिक्षे व्यनदत् सौम्यस्त्रिदशदुन्दुभिः पपातपुष्पवृष्टिश्च समन्ताद्राघवोपरि तुष्टुवुर्मुनयः सिद्धाश्चारणाश्च दिवौकसः अथान्तरिक्षेण ऋतुः सर्वतोऽप्सरसो मुदा रावणस्य च देहोत्थं ज्योतिरादित्यवत् स्फुरत् प्रविवेश रघुश्रेष्ठं देवानां पश्यतां सतां देवा ऊचुरहो भाग्यं रावणस्य महात्मनः वयं तु सात्विका देवा विष्णो कारुण्यभाजनाः भयदुःखादिभिर्व्याप्ताः संसारे परिवर्तिनः अयं तु राक्षसः क्रूरो ब्रह्महातीव तामसः परदाररतो विष्णुद्वेषी तापसहिंसकः पश्यत्सु सर्वभूतेषु राममेव प्रविष्टवान् एवं ब्रुवत्सु देवेषु नारदः प्राह सुस्मितः शृणुतात्र सुरा यूयं धर्मतत्त्वविचक्षणाः रावणो राघवद्वेषादनिशं हृदि भावयन् भृत्यै सह सदा रामचरितं द्वेषसंयुतः श्रुत्वा रामात् स्वनिधनं भयात् सर्वत्र राघवं पश्यन्ननुदिनं स्वप्ने राममेवानुपश्यति क्रोधोऽपि रावणस्याशु गुरुबोधाधिकोऽभवत् रामेण निहतश्चान्ते निर्धूताशेषकल्मषः रामसायुज्यमेवाप रावणो मुक्तबन्धनः पापिष्ठो वा दुरात्मा परदनपरदारेषु सक्तो यदि स्यात् नित्यं स्नेहाद्भयाद्वा रघुकुलतिलकं भावयन् सम्परेतः भूत्वा शुद्धान्तरङ्गो भवशतजनितानेकदोषैर्विमुक्तः सद्यो रामस्य विष्णोः सुरवरविनुतं याति वैकुण्ठमाद्यम् हत्वा युद्धे दशास्यं त्रिभुवनविषमं वामहस्तेन चापम् भूमौ विष्टभ्यतिष्ठन्नितरकरधृतं भ्रामयन् बाणमेकम् आरक्तोपान्तनेत्रः शरदलितवपुः सूर्यकोटिप्रकाशो वीरश्रीबन्धुराङ्गस्त्रिदशपतिनुतः पातु मां वीररामः। इति श्रीमध्यात्मरामायणे उमामहेश्वरसंवादे युद्धकाण्डे 11 सर्गः।